Hi there, John Bowens from Equity Trust Company for another whiteboard session. In this session, we're going to be talking about utilizing smaller dollars to invest in real estate, utilizing a self-directed IRA or other tax-advantaged investment account. Now, let me talk for a minute about the spirit of why I put together this whiteboard session. So just the other day, I got a phone call from a prospective investor. So this was someone who reached out to me and they said, "Hey John, I heard about this concept of using a self-directed IRA to invest in real estate. I'm already involved in real estate, but unfortunately, I only have about $30,000 in an old 401k to roll over, and the types of properties that I'm buying in my particular marketplace are between $70,000 to $80,000, all in purchase and rehab." And this was an investor that does both fix and flips as well as buy and hold rental properties. And so he was of the impression that he wouldn't be able to invest with that retirement plan into real estate because he didn't have enough money. Now, fortunately, we're able to talk through the concepts that I'm going to share with you in this whiteboard session. And many of these concepts are around real estate investment partnerships with a self-directed IRA. See, a lot of people aren't familiar with this concept of being able to partner your IRA with your non-IRA money, or your IRA with your spouse's IRA money, or your IRA with your other family members' retirement plans, or even your IRA with a disinterested third party. So I'm going to give you 3 examples of how this could potentially work for you. So let's get right to the whiteboard. The first case study that I have for you, this is an Equity Trust client. Her name is Michelle. And Michelle came to us a few years ago, and she set up a Roth IRA for herself. Her husband set up a Roth IRA, and then they also facilitated and assisted their daughter, who's now 19 years old, her Roth IRA. And they got contributions into all of these Roth IRAs. They then got to a point where they had enough money in those Roth IRAs to go out and identify a real estate investment opportunity. They bought a rental property for $24,000. So Michelle and her husband and her daughter are looking to buy cash flowing assets with their Roth IRA and be able to do it, most importantly, of course, as we always talk about, tax-free, right? That's the big benefit here. So they bought a rental property for $24,000 and they partnered all 3 of their Roth IRAs. So Michelle's Roth got a 3rd ownership interest in the property. Her husband's Roth had a 3rd ownership interest, and her daughter's Roth had a 3rd ownership interest. Now you see here they all kicked in $8,000 for the $24,000 purchase. Very important because they are family members, also known as disqualified persons, and we have another training on prohibited transactions and disqualified persons. But very important that their capital contribution was proportionate with their ownership interest. $8,000, $8,000, $8,000, a third, a third, a third. They're now renting this property out for approximately $4,500 net per year. So when you break that down, $4,500, a third, a third, a third, that's about $1,500 in annual cash flow tax-free into each of the respective Roth IRAs. On their initial $8,000 investment, that's an initial 19% return on investment. And they'll have that cash flow consistently coming in, so as long as everything is equal, consistently coming in year after year after year. So this is an example of family members partnering their Roth IRAs together. Now let's move on to the next case study here. So this is Gary. Now let me share with you an important aspect of Gary's story. Gary came to Equity Trust Company about 10 years ago, and he set up a Roth IRA, never had a retirement account before this, set up a Roth IRA and put $5,000 in it at that time. And he did a couple wholesale transactions to start to build the balance. He then went on to partnering his IRA with his wife's IRA. And today, he was able to buy a cash flowing rental property free and clear utilizing his self-directed Roth IRA money. But before he got to that point where he had enough capital in the IRA to go out and buy assets 100% outright, he had to utilize some of these partnership strategies, some of these smaller dollar strategies. So this is an example that happened a few years ago where Gary bought a property. It was a fix and flip transaction, bought a property at a local sheriff sale auction, and the all-in purchase and rehab cost was $71,500. It was about a $40,000 purchase at the county auction, and then he put about $30,000 worth of repairs into it. Now, initially going into the deal, he knew at that time that he would not have enough capital in the Roth IRA for the full purchase and rehab. so he didn't have 71.5 in that Roth IRA. But what he knew he had was some non-IRA money and then enough money in the IRA so that his Roth IRA could get 75% equity in the transaction. So on the initial get-go in making the investment, he partnered his Roth IRA with his LLC. So Gary has an LLC set up for his real estate transactions. He partnered his Roth IRA with his LLC. And yes, Gary's LLC is a disqualified person to his Roth IRA. However, when he bought the property and then subsequently paid for the $30,000 in repairs, everything was split proportionately, 75-25. So again, from the top, bought it for all-in purchase and rehab, 71.5. Roth IRA was on deed for 75% interest. LLC on deed for 25% interest. On the purchase and rehab, 53 was kicked in from his Roth and some change. And then his LLC kicked in 17 and some change. And when they sold the property, $25,000, nearly $26,000 in tax-free profits in Gary's Roth IRA. And then his LLC received about $8,600 in taxable profits. So his Roth IRA captured about $26,000 tax-free, and then his LLC received the remaining $8,600 for the 25% interest. See how that works? And think about how you can do this based on your circumstances. Maybe it's partnering your Roth with your LLC like Gary, and maybe it's not 75-25, maybe it's 80-20, maybe it's 50-50. Maybe you plug and play your wife's IRA. In fact, Gary and his wife partner their IRAs as well for transactions. But the fortunate part of this is that now Gary's at a point where he's amassed enough capital in his Roth IRA where he can go out and fix and flip properties or buy rentals all in cash with the available funds that he has in his self-directed IRA. All right, so those are two examples. Last example that I want to talk about, and I want to go over to the easel here, is this concept of a joint venture. So for those of you that are familiar and for those of you that aren't familiar, a joint venture is a widely encompassing term. For the purposes of this hypothetical example, I'm going to call it a real estate joint venture. All right, so, and let's make the assumption in this particular hypothetical that I have a property purchase opportunity, and we're going to call it a fix and flip opportunity. And let's say this fix and flip opportunity is going to require the capital of $50,000 all in purchase and rehab. And we'll call it $40K in purchase and $10K in rehab. So we need $50,000 in capital. Now, let's say I have a Roth IRA and I only have $10,000 in the Roth IRA. So I got $10,000 in my Roth IRA, the opportunity $50,000 all in purchase and rehab. Now, I could go back to these examples and say, hey, maybe I could partner my Roth IRA with my non-IRA money. Maybe I could partner my Roth IRA with my spouse's IRA or my Roth IRA with another family member's IRA. Or maybe in this circumstance, because I found the deal and I'm going to identify the contractors that are going to do all the work on the property to rehab it, that I want to get a larger percentage of the profits. All right, I want to get a larger percentage of profits in my IRA. And let's say I have a third party that is interested in being what I'll call a money partner. So I meet another investor in my local community, might be at a meetup group or other real estate investor symposium of sorts, and I find an investor that's interested in putting capital into the deal as a passive investor. So my third party investor here, let's make the assumption that they kick in $40,000. So my Roth's going to kick in $10,000 for the purchase and rehab, and my third-party investor partner is going to kick in the $40,000 for the $50,000 purchase and rehab. And let's say that we buy, fix, and sell this property in 8 months. Okay? Now, very critical that this third party is not considered a disqualified person. So if you want to know more about who are disqualified persons, who may not be disqualified persons, we have another training specifically on that. But for all intents and purposes, we're going to say a non-family member, third party. They're not a disqualified person. We're partnering up with them on this particular transaction. You're going to see in just a moment and why we're doing that, why we're selecting a third party. So $50,000 purchase and rehab, and let's say we sell this property for $100,000, and after $10,000 in closing costs, we net a $40,000 profit. All right. So $40,000 is our profit. And we're going to create a joint venture here. Now, you're going to want to get with a real estate attorney. All right, equity trust, we aren't legal advisors or legal counsel to you. We're educators, we're a passive custodian. So it's important that you team up with a real estate attorney in order to create a joint venture agreement. Maybe you set up an LLC. There's ultimately different ways in which you can paper this transaction. But following with me on the methodology is important, because once you carve a transaction out like this, you give it to your real estate attorney, and then ultimately they help you paper that transaction. So for the purpose of this, we're going to call it a joint venture. We create a joint venture between the Roth IRA and the third party, and per the terms of the joint venture agreement, we're going to say that the profits are going to be split 50-50. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, wait a second, if the third party is kicking in 80% of the capital required, why are they only getting 50% of the return? Well, the Roth IRA investor in this case found the deal, got it under contract between the two parties as tenants and common owners or within the joint venture, and they're identifying the contractors. Essentially, they're the ones that brought the deal to the table, so to speak. So they're going to negotiate within this joint venture 50-50 split. So let's take a look at the profit potential here in this hypothetical example. So $40,000 profit, our investor partner here, they're making $20,000, all right? And do the math, $40,000 invested, and they made a $20,000 profit in less than 12 months. That's a pretty good deal for them, right? And now we look at our Roth IRA. So our Roth IRA invested $10,000 and made the other $20,000 in profit. Again, we're splitting the $40,000 in profit 50-50. So a $10,000 Roth investment making a $20,000 profit. You can do the math on the return on investment there. So this joint venture concept, whether it's in a JV agreement or it's an LLC or other type of entity structure, ultimately you could determine how that's going to work for you based on your specific circumstances with your own real estate attorney. But this can be an incredibly powerful concept. Think about taking that Roth IRA money that we made in this scenario, $20,000 plus our original $10,000. Now we got $30,000. Now we put $30,000 in the next deal, and just like Gary over here, now we're starting to amass the capital to go out and be able to fix and flip, go out and buy rental properties as a cash buyer, and we may not need to utilize these partnership strategies. We also have additional videos that even drill down further and give you more case studies on these ideas and concepts of partnering multiple self-directed retirement accounts together. That could be a Roth IRA, a traditional IRA, a small business retirement plan like a solo 401k, could be even a Coverdell education savings account or health savings account. That's what's so incredible about this business and why I'm so passionate about it. Because you can take a whiteboard just like this, you could look objectively at a real estate investment transaction, and you can carve it up in the way that you see best fit for you. Thank you so much for joining us on another whiteboard session. I encourage you to check out more of our YouTube videos. If you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel. You'll get real-time notifications when we have additional videos that are coming out to you. We look forward to seeing you on the next whiteboard session.